Wesley, you mentioned Wan'Dale Robinson for Kentucky, and it got me thinking about NIL. And this is a guy who's capitalized big time in his short time back in Kentucky from Frankfurt originally, went to Nebraska, transferred back. He's making good money in name, image, likeness. Ty Washington for the basketball team. Pretty sure the kid's got a 401k already set up with all the deals that he's making. It's amazing to see all the sponsorship deals that he has. Kentucky is really capitalizing on this, and I knew they would, especially in basketball, but you're seeing it in football. Well, you know that fan base well, Wesley, and how committed they are. I feel like a guy with your name and your star power while at Kentucky probably could have capitalized on NIL. So what do you make of all of this? And how well would Wesley Woodyard have done with NIL at Kentucky?
Oh, I would have broke the bank. I would have definitely broke.
You would have had that 401k also, like Ty, right?
I might not would have had a chance to go to the league because I would have had all that money in my bank account already. So, but no, it's great. You know, I've challenged Mitch Bornhart, athletic director, and Susan Lax, one of our football ops over there in Kentucky, to just try to have a program in place for these kids and to show them, you know, what to do with the money that's coming in. Because, you know, I think about me, we struggled. You know, some of our guys worked. I worked an off-season job in the summer just to get a couple bucks in my pocket during the 4-week summer school session. But it's big. The University of Kentucky is right in the center of nothing else. Everybody there believes blue. There's no professional sports teams. I mean, you go close, your closest one is Cincinnati with the Bengals and the Reds, but everybody, they're diehard Kentucky football fans. And I think the NIL is a great thing. You know, a lot of kids make millions for the university and they never got a chance to reap any of those benefits. But now, you know, they get a chance to sit back and use their images and their likeness and capitalize on that, because now you're teaching kids what to do with money when they get it. And that's the challenge that I place on the university to teach these kids, when you get money in your bank account, it's not about how fast you can get it in and how fast you can get it out. It's about how fast you can get it in and how long it can stay in there and continue to grow. So I challenge all those kids to, you know, not go out and spend money on chains. Don't go buy the flashy big cars. You know, think about life after football. And I think that's something that most kids don't understand, that there is a life after football, and what they're doing, they're preparing themselves for a greater life.
Wesley, it's been fun talking to you about Kentucky, but I want to go back to the NFL. You're a 12-year NFL vet. I saw this clip of you trying to guard Christian McCaffrey. Let's get it from your perspective. When you go up against a guy like Christian, how'd that go?
You know what? Before I get into that, let me go to after practice.
Lay it out for us.
So I, of course, I used to play with the Broncos, and I grew up watching Ed McCaffrey, and Ed used to always bring his kids to practice. And one of them was a little kid, always had a football in his hand, always running around, and it was Christian. So I met Christian back then. You know, I didn't know he was going to be a big star, but I ended up following his college career. And he comes to me after practice. He was like, "Wes, you know, man, you were one of my favorite Broncos. I always grew up watching you. Love the way you play. You were a hard hitter, a great leader." I'm like, "Dude, why'd you have to toast me and burn me like that on the play?" But yeah, man, Christian, he's a great athlete. And, you know, he challenged a lot of guys. I think he went through every linebacker that day in practice, and he graduated and went over and did the same thing to the DBs. But you know, when you're guarding a guy like Christian, man, you got to have a plan A and a plan B and a plan C in your shoes to be ready to guard him. Very elusive, very quick. I compare him to a lot of SEC running backs. Had he been in the SEC, he'd have been breaking a lot of ankles out there too. But he's one of the great, and I wish him a healthy season. I know he's just getting back off of a hamstring injury, I think what it was. But man, he's going to be causing problems and creating terror and chaos in this league for a long time, just like his dad did.
Well, Wesley, I appreciate you teaching him that lesson on respecting your elders also, because it sounded like a lesson that he really needed to hear and let sink in. I think that you taught him that day. I do want to ask you about your former team, the Tennessee Titans, currently sitting in the number 1 spot in the AFC, continuing to find a way to win even without Derrick Henry now. And I know that this warms your heart, Wesley. They're doing it on defense, which no one saw coming into this season. What do you make of the Titans so far, even without Derrick Henry?
Huge. Sitting at 8-2. We win this game. I think it'll be maybe five or 6 years in a row that we've had a winning season, and I think that's huge for the club. You look at what Mike is trying to get accomplished there in Tennessee, and that's a philosophy of learning how to win no matter what. That same mentality that the New England Patriots had. We're going to beat you differently every week. Some weeks we might run through your face with Derrick Henry. Some weeks we might have to let Tannehill throw the ball up to Julio and AJ and Ferkster out in the flats. So, man, they're getting it done, like you said, on defense finally. We've all been waiting for this great defensive scheme to step up and be great leaders out there. And I think, honestly, it starts up front, with the pressure that Jeffrey Simmons has been creating in the inside. And you look at Harold Landry on the outside, he's finally got that 10-digit, that double-digit sack season. I know he's been hunting and chasing that for a long time. Got a chance to talk to him last week, too, and just congratulating him on getting the 10. But I think the guy who you look forward to is Kevin Byard. KB, a leader. KB is one of the guys that always, he's pouring his glass out. He's always working hard, always in the building, always leading by example. And whenever your leaders are doing the right things, I think you're heading in the right direction. I know statistically they're not where they want to be defensively, but these last few games have really showed that, hey, it's going to take a defensive effort to win championships. And I think those three guys, along with Jayon Brown, understand the concept of what it takes to win championships, especially towards the end of the football season.